All right, next game. Again, we're on to the top of the end of the Premier League table, and we go to Arsenal and the Emirates. I really enjoyed the game. Arsenal won it 2-0. Goals from Jesus in the 53rd and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, another goal from the midfield position, the position that really his manager wanted him to play, the left side of that midfield three, if you like. I think of what we've seen, Tim, I feel like Arsenal are top of the table right now by a point, clear of Liverpool. I think they look like the best team right now, Tim. And I thought this game against Brighton was a really good example of a team that are pretty grooved, with the ball, without the ball, organised, together, compact. I think they look really good.
They're currently, if you look at Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Manchester City, Arsenal are currently the best team and the most consistent team. We just talked about Liverpool. You know, Aston Villa, are they as consistent as Arsenal? Yes, they are.
At the moment, yeah.
Are they as talented? No. And so, you know, Arsenal also have this factor from last year, right? So they stumbled right at the last time of asking, and so all the questions were for me and most people: are those lessons learned, or is that going to happen again? Like, how strong are they mentally? And they're showing so far that they've learned those lessons from last year about being resilient and seeing out results. And so I like the look of Arsenal, and up until this point, until proven otherwise, they certainly have seemed to learn those lessons.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it, and what I try to see from champion teams, Tim, is to win games comfortably, sometimes win games easily. This probably isn't in that category. Brighton can be a very awkward opponent, whether they play, and they can have periods where they keep the ball and they annoy you, frustrate the home fans and stuff. And there was periods I thought second half of Brighton, but other than that, there was no drama. There was a lot of composure. There was a feel-good factor moments. I thought Jesus, and I think we feel the same way about Jesus, where we're like, we want to think he's the number 9 that can deliver them a title, help deliver them a title. But there's moments in the game. I think I said it to you, to be fair, just before he scored. I'm like, is this one of those games for Jesus where we don't really see him much?
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything different on Jesus, Tim? And is there enough goals from other areas that if he doesn't get his 15 goals, that they still can do it?
Well, the worry for me when Arteta brought Jesus into Arsenal was Pep brought him in as a number 9. It didn't work out for him at City, so he moved him to the wing. He was really good on the wing in terms of his pressing, his energy, his crossing. So I like that. And then Arteta brings him in as a number 9, and I go, ooh, I think they've already done this experiment at City. He doesn't really work there. And he worked there last year. He did. He got the goals. He was good in good form and good rhythm. Then he got injured, and he hasn't hit the ground running since he came back. My worry for Arsenal is normally the load is shared around the goal-scoring load by other players, by Odegaard, by Martinelli, by Saka. Some of their numbers are down. Not Saka's numbers, but like
good,
some of their numbers are down. So
Martinelli's got 2. Havertz has now got 4.
Yeah.
Odegaard's got 4.
Rice has chipped in with 3. You know, so if the balance is the scoring is balanced, my worry is some of the other numbers of the guys around him are down, which worries me a little bit. Like if those guys have average years and Jesus has a subpar year, I'm struggling to see a Premier League champion who's number 9 doesn't score 10 plus goals, you know, and that worries me.
Yeah, I think I went back some numbers a few years ago on that. There's not many that scored a certain number, but there are a few examples. But no, I mean, he stepped up with the header at the back post. Kai Havertz is an interesting one, Tim. I want to get a bit more from you on him. We know he's been put around the side a little bit. We know he's not going to be one of those guys who's going to be on the ball all the time, bright, linking things, playing through balls and looking $1 million. But maybe his role in this team is going to be from the left side in midfield, getting forward. When he scored his goal, he's kind of like almost in the striker position. Yeah. Maybe that's what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to hang out in and around Gabriel Jesus, and between them, Tim, they can get the goals from the central areas. I can't remember your take on him initially of whether that was a good idea or whether you think it could still be a masterstroke.
Look, I don't think he's a world beater by any stretch of the imagination. I think if the rhythm is right, he fits into that midfield. I think the way Mikel Arteta has managed him has been brilliant. Brought him out of the side a little bit, taken him out of the spotlight, dipped him back in, brought him off today to a standing ovation. So he's being clever with him. Look, if he can play the Arsenal way, good football, which we know he can do. He likes to run likes to stay away from defenders, doesn't want the contact. He can play good football. If he can do that in this team, get his goals, again, share the goal scoring like everybody else does, I think he's really onto something, and he could be a good player for this team. So initially, didn't love the signing, very similar to Jesus, but I have to have faith in Arsenal, and in terms of Mikel Arteta, he very rarely gets signings wrong. And so you think, okay, I don't see it, but I also didn't really see Jesus either, and it seemed to work initially.
No, it's right. It's fair play. And if it does happen and he helps him win a title, then absolutely well done. Because, like you, I thought, wow, that's a lot of money for a guy that struggled. Last thing on Arsenal, and you've already touched it, Tim, a little bit. I don't think, and me and Earl have talked about this, we ain't going to know about Arsenal until the end. About learning the lessons. Because they did this before, and they scored late goals, and the euphoria was there, and people like us started saying, well, this something special's happening, this is going to be their year. And then what happened. William Saliba is brilliant. Is there a better centre-back in the Premier League? There's maybe a few that's close to him, of course. You're Van Dijk's, and I particularly like Van der Ven at Spurs, who's injured right now. But, of course, he was missing in the run-in. But in terms of, it's hard to recognise something in the team now that you think is going to benefit them in the end, or can you? Can you see, I tell you, just thinking about Declan Rice. I mean, there's a player right away that has to help in that run-in.
Well, I think the spine. Saliba was a big deal for me. It was a big deal because the drop-off from Saliba to who they went with in the end, and in terms of that back four having continuity, it was, you can see the back four essentially picks itself, certainly with the two center backs and the goalkeeper. They're solid as a rock defensively. They're going to need that as the season goes on, particularly down the stretch. And then Rice, he plugs holes, he gets forward, he gets goals. Like, those are two major factors for me that I think this Arsenal team is better. Yeah.
Quick one on Raya. We said a lot about Raya. Do you think he's going to get better, Tim? Are we seeing the best David Raya, or is there more to come?
I think he is exactly what he is. He's an aggressive goalkeeper at his near post. He's going to, very much like Fabian Barthez back in the Manchester United days. He's going to come for crosses and miss a few, and not really have too much care and go at it again. He looks a little bit low on confidence at times with the shot stopping. He was brought in to play the type of football that Mikel Arteta wants to play, that De Zerbi wants to play, out of the back with their feet. So listen, that's the goalkeeper that he wants. And quite honestly, he's had 11 goals against in 12 games. I mean, the numbers are actually quite good. It's just every now and again he looks a little shaky. I think he's the goalkeeper that we're seeing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, final thought. I went out to the team sheet today, Tim. I looked at the bench. There's some pretty good names on the bench as well for Arsenal. I know they got a few people out, really important people out right now. Thomas Partey and Tomiyasu and Vieira, and of course Timber. I think it's going to be really good when he's fit again, because he looked good in pre-season. He's still got Smith Rowe and Ketcher on the bench, Suarez, Trossard, Nelson. It's looking good for Arsenal.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.